We ready to do this noise?
Always.
Here we go. Mom. Dad. Juliet. Neve. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode of PanCake Friday. It's been too long.
Yeah, I'm surprised we still remember the theme tune.
Was that the theme tune? I can't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we basically came back and we're like, all right, we're ready to go. And then Christmas hit.
Oh God, yeah. It was a whole time as well.
I had a great Christmas, but it was a lot.
I think just December was like a lot for us because we don't really do much. And then,
Well, we do go to soccer.
I mean, yeah, that's literally it. And you do that, and I just come watch. So when December hit, and it was like flight to Hawaii, flight back from Hawaii, Christmas, and then we were all sick over Christmas, and then people from England, and then New Year's, and it's only just kind of calmed back down. That was like a solid 3 weeks of just go.
Yeah, well, I mean, Hawaii was really nice, but it's traveling, so as much as it's nice, it is like, I don't want to say, well, yeah, I'll call it a stress. Like, it is a thing.
I mean, I don't think it's necessarily stressful. I just think like it's full on.
I think it's stressful.
Okay.
Like, for me,
maybe traveling was a little bit stressful.
It's not like stressful, like it sucks. It's just like you got to make sure you have everything. You're a little stressed. You're leaving the country, your passports, security. It's just like so. But it wasn't bad. It just was stressful. And then like we literally landed, and what was that? That was like the 11th, and I basically worked for a week and a half. It was Christmas. Then your friends got here, and we the whole time just.
We landed on the 14th.
Yes, and then,
no, wait.
Yeah, we left on the 6th, and we're gone 8 days.
11th, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, but it was good. I actually had a really nice Christmas.
Me
everything
too.
was really
Yeah.
nice, as much as it was hectic.
Yeah.
I hope your friends had a good time here. It was a good time.
I think they had a really good time. I would have loved to have done a pod with them. Like, had a jam packed.
Yeah, it was cool to take them downtown. Because I guess they hadn't really like seen that.
Yeah.
And I always think downtown sucks, but I think they enjoyed that day.
Yeah, they definitely did. I never think of it as well. I didn't even realize until Jamie and Lewis said to me, they were like, yeah, well, when we were here the first time, we never really went downtown. And we didn't at all. Like, we went to that one poutine spot on Davie.
Right.
And we went to the hockey game, but we didn't do anything like before or after, so...
It was such a gimme of an easy thing to do. Be like, oh, you haven't been to the city? Well, we'll just go to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's funny because when I moved here, I literally spent a solid 2 or 3 weeks just doing nothing but exploring the city.
Oh, really?
By transit. Yeah, because I didn't have a car.
Right.
I just moved here, so I didn't have a job. And the dude that I was with at the time was working, so I literally just went around the city by myself.
Yeah. No, I think they liked it. It was a when we went downtown, God, what did we do? We met at the C bus. We went across on the C bus. We walked through Gastown and got donuts from some place. I just told my friends, I was like, we're gonna be downtown, what should we do? And they like traced me a path. We went to the steam clock. We went to the Canby and had 2 pictures. And yeah, so the Canby, I mean, we all know what the Canby is listening to this pod, but it if you haven't been in a while, it's still the Canby.
You know, I don't think I've ever been to the Canby.
What?
I don't think so.
See, this is the thing that's whack about me even going, what? Is like the Canby's not that good, but you gotta go.
Yeah.
It's like, you would love it. It's like grunge and Grease and
I would love that.
Nar and taps. The taps are make everything taste rusty.
Yeah. I did go to the Roxy for the first time the other week.
Right. What'd you think of the Roxy?
I actually really enjoyed it. I had a great time. This is what I'm gonna start the pod on. Okay. If you're okay with
Should
that.
Should we restart the pod so you can start with this?
No.
Oh, okay. We're just going to continue.
I was just going from here.
We never restart the pod.
So it was Benita's birthday.
Right.
And her birthday is the 23rd of December.
Right.
Which is a sucky time to have a birthday. She doesn't mind it. But I've never celebrated her birthday with her because she always used to fly back to High Level or wherever she was at the time.
Right.
And so this was the first time I've actually got to like celebrate her birthday with her.
Yeah.
And we went to a little Italian restaurant in Yaletown called
Giuseppe's.
Can't remember.
Oh.
But I had pasta, which was really good, and then we went to this bar Soho, which was right next to it. Have you ever been there?
No.
It's just like it's in the middle of Yaletown, but it's kind of like dive bar-y, and they have like 9 or 12 pool tables.
Oh, cool.
And you put your name down, and it's basically just a pool bar.
It sounds very like a Yale town. They're like, check out this dive bar at Yale town.
I feel like 12, it was very that.
Yeah, it has like 12 pool tables. I'm like, I feel like dive bars don't have 12 pool tables.
But they were playing WWE in the background, which I was stoked about. And then after that we went to Funky Winker Beans, and I did karaoke, and then we went to the Roxy.
The first time I ever walked in a bathroom and saw someone shooting up next to me was at Funky Winker Beans.
Good memes all around.
And I went there for lunch.
I got up and rapped Eminem there.
Yeah, I know. You came home and rapped it again, and it was actually really good.
Thank you.
Or no, wait,
that's my one party trick.
Where did we see you? Because you
Hawaii. I rapped it in Hawaii.
Yeah, you rapped it in Hawaii, and everyone was like, "Holy shit!"
That's like my one party trick is the Eminem "Love the Way You Lie" on karaoke every time I can.
My one party trick is I almost got shot at the gun range.
That's a party trick.
That's
not a party trick.
Everyone's like, "Yo, what can you do?" And I'm like, "I almost got shot at gun range." Like,
yeah, Derek, we all know you almost got shot at a gun range.
Sorry if at night, I don't know if you've noticed at night, I just wake up screaming like, "Ah, Vietnam, no, let me out."
That doesn't happen.
It does. That's fucked. You would deny my PTSD.
Oh, wow.
That's what
it must be really hard for you.
That's how the pros call it. Patista. I'm trying to think what else has happened before I start getting into all my.
Literally everything. Everything has happened since then. Since we got back from Hawaii, we did a pod, and then those past like 2.5 weeks. So
me, Kevin, and Jack were having a boys' night, and then Alex McMorty was in town, so he came with us, and we met up at Brown's, and then they were like, "Let's hit the strip club," and it was funny because that's not what we were gonna do, but let's be real, like the four of us meeting up, like that's probably an idea.
Can I also just say as well, you said, "Oh, I'm going out for a beer with the boys." That was your literal words when you told me what happened. And then as soon as I found out Alex McMorty was there and you were going downtown, I'm like, okay, he's written off for the night.
I didn't know we were going downtown, but I knew we were all. I meant we were like going out for the night, but I didn't realize we were going downtown.
Yeah, but as soon as you got that C bus, you knew. Like, there's no way you were coming back early.
I didn't think. No, I'm talking about when we met at Brown's. I thought we were staying on the North Shore, and then anyhow, this is getting off topic of the story. We went to the Orange, but before we went to the Orange, we went to the casino.
Such a random thing to do as well.
And we all played blackjack. I think I won $60 or $70 on it, which was crazy because I hate gambling.
Yeah, I know. So I was like,
I only put down a ceremonial 20 because Kevin and Alex were all about it. Me and Jack Roger was there too, and me and Jack were like. And so was Roger, but everyone sat down, so we're like, okay, we'll play.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Basically, I just sat there as Kevin and Alex were like, don't hit or hit. And I was like, all right. And then, so that was pretty cool. I don't know. I'm not going to lie. I walked away from the casino with $60 or $70, most I've ever won. Like, and I from what I put down to what I came away with was crazy. Yeah. Still have no desire to go to the casino.
I'm addicted to gambling.
No, I just even within that, like it was obviously cool walking away with more money.
Yeah.
But I wasn't like sitting there like, what a rush. I was like, oh, thank God I didn't lose the money I put in.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Orange is a strip club. It is what it is. It was just a night. And then we had Juliet's ceremony. That was actually so nice.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that.
So just for the listeners, Juliet, we named godparents for Juliet, but godparents is a very Christian thing.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really aware of that at the time. So like basically when a kid gets baptized, the godparents are there. And so without our kid getting baptized, it was kind of like a weird,
Or christened.
or
Yeah.
christened or anything. It was kind of like a weird, like, what do you mean there's godparents?
Yeah.
So we had a nice little ceremony where this woman came in and she just kind of did a blessing, but it was more like a spiritual blessing
It
to the
was
planet.
really
It
nice.
was really
I really
nice.
enjoyed. Yeah.
Yeah,
really
and,
enjoyed the
and it
little
was
ceremony.
there's about 20 of us, and we were all in my mom's living room, and it was packed, and there's this big
Yeah.
circle. And the best part is Juliet, the whole time she just learned what's this and this. So you just, like, the lady be talking, we're all sitting there, and she'd be like, and welcoming a new life into the world, and then we like light all these candles, and then Juliet go, what's this? And this, and the
so
woman's just
funny.
trying to like talk, not like it's a big deal,
Yeah.
and then it's just like no one's listening to her anymore as Juliet does stuff.
Like the funniest was Marge, of course. Marge, it was Christmas time, and Marge had this little cow
Oh, yeah.
barn figurine set out on the table, and Juliet loved it. She's loved it every time we've gone around there, and she's had it out. And she's like learning farm animals, so she just picks up one of the cows and goes moo. And I'm like, yeah,
That
cow.
was great. Yeah, and so anyhow, then we had a little ceremony for her. It was really cute.
It was super cute.
And I'm really happy we did it. It made me
Yeah,
feel super happy.
me too.
And just to have all the people that loved her around. Like,
Yeah.
it was basically everyone that loved her minus like a couple people. Like Zach and Danielle, I'm sure would have been there if they could.
Yeah.
And then like my grandma and your parents and stuff and your
Yeah.
grandparents. But like pretty much everyone that could have got there was there.
Yeah.
I do have to say, shout out to Uncle Gabe, one of the godparents. So Gabe's, just for those of you who don't know, Gabe has like his old family house. He's been like just going through storage lockers, cleaning stuff out, and he had a sister. So he brings a lot of his like sister's old books for Juliet to have. And bless you, Gabe. But one of the books he brought over was a South Park book. and it's 100% South Park. And Gabe's words to me when he showed me it was like, yeah, I couldn't believe they made a child's book for South Park, or a South Park book for children. And I didn't have the heart of the time, because it was really nice, but I was just like, they didn't make this for children, Gabe.
It's still on Juliet's bookshelf.
Yeah,
Until she can actually read words,
Yeah.
I'll
Until
still
she's
share the
like,
book.
Mommy, what does it mean when it says the alien's anal probed Cartman? I'll be like, Juliet, go read Harry Potter. So that was really fun. Oh yeah, and I guess your friends arrived the day before, did they not, or 2 days before?
Yeah, no, they arrived the day before.
Yeah, and I mean, I love your friends. They're like family to me now. I
Yeah.
mean, they obviously are just because of our relationship,
Yeah.
but like I have like good relationships with them. Obviously, Kieran, I really liked Kieran. He's super nice.
Yeah, it's the first
fun
time you
guy.
met him, right?
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get along more and more as we meet each
Oh,
other.
yeah,
but
100%.
all your other friends, like, it's not like I have a relationship with Jamie, with Lewis, and Neve. It's not like I'm like, hey,
Yeah, oh yeah.
yeah. So that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's been enough time that you would have that as well. But yeah, I know they really love coming out here. And they feel super welcomed and everything. Good. And I think they really appreciate having you as a tour guide as well, because I'm very let people do their thing, but you actually know and can show them a lot of stuff as like a local as well.
Yeah, it's always really weird because I've just, as a person in general, I think I've kind of always done this, but more lately, I will always give my opinion and say what I want to do, but I'm not like a dick that's like, it has to be my way.
Yeah.
You're just always going to hear what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I find a lot of people, like, and your friends are obviously tourists here, but a lot of people just say, I'm down to do whatever. So I just was like, you know what, I'm just going to throw out all this stuff that we're going to do. And if they don't want to, or they want to stop at some point, but they were obviously just game and we did everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Except the only thing I felt bad about was, I thought Granville to stadium was about 15 minutes. And then we weren't going to stadium, we were going to Chinatown, so it was half an hour. And I was like, oh, it's the restaurant we're going to is right here because they're all hungry.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, it's just like 15, 20 minutes away max. And it was half an hour. And so they're walking and they thought we were lost. And it wasn't that we were lost. I just knew it was really far.
Yeah.
So I just didn't say anything. And then they're like, oh, is this the stadium? Like, yeah, so it's about 10 minutes from here after a 20-minute walk.
I mean, I don't think 20 to 30 minutes is that big a difference. So,
They got to walk through Yale Town and all that. It was nice.
Yeah.
Downtown Vancouver's tiny to walk.
It's so tiny. It's so tiny. Like, and they've all walked around London, so I feel like that's not a whole lot of big walking. Deal. Yeah.
And then New Year's, we went out to Dax and Sarah's place.
That was super fun.
That was a super fun.
The only thing is, we play Rage Cage way too early in the night, and it writes me off like instantaneously.
Okay, what's Rage Cage? That's for the viewers. Rage Cage, Honeycomb, Stack Cup,
whatever
Slap
you
Cup,
call it.
all those ones. Yeah.
I started cheating so hard at the end there because I was like, I don't want any more drinks. So I just kept like knocking the cup out of the way. People were right next to me, and I was just like, no.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna lie. One thing I do think I found is, I swear there's this like underlying rule of, if you cheat and people are drunk enough, no one cares, because the amount of times, like especially in Rage Cage, if I've blocked someone, everyone gets pissed and gives me a penalty. And the amount of times where I've bounced and someone's whacked my ball or like done something where I'm like, yo, that's illegal, and no one says anything, and I'm like, I think once
there's drinks already flowing, I don't think any of
like I swear to God, to win It Sucks to Kind of Suck, people cheat.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, I feel like you have to win it that game.
Yeah, but if you're
playing an honest game, you're just gonna get.
But I think I feel like that's part of the game. Is like, I just swear there's been so many times where I've watched people do stuff and I thought it was cheating, but I was also hammered, so I just didn't say anything or do anything. And then like there'd be times where I'd be like, we'd be playing, and then all of a sudden, like 15 minutes later, I'd be like, what how's this person here, and I've only moved 2 squares and they're like so far. But
I mean, I fully believe that happens, but I'm also just way too hammered to notice or give a shit.
But that's what I mean is, I think like if you actually saw the true official rules, that's one of the rules, but no one knows that or says it. And I've said it to Dax, and Dax is like, no, Nick's a stickler for the rules, and I'm like, he's a stickler for Con's rules, but I swear there's been times where he's manipulated the rules.
I mean, I guess I don't know. I get drunk, so I don't pay attention.
Sucks
to
to
really
Suck
anything.
is a board game Dax and Nick made, and then they made a new one called Sucks to Kinda Suck, where didn't both the Nicks make it, or just Nick? I know Dax and Sarah. For sure it's Nick, involved. Dax, and Sarah making it, and it's like the entire board game. Everything. It looks like a board game, but everything is drinking. It's basically like you land on a space. It's a drinking game, or it's a take a shot or a shotgun or go back spaces, which inevitably just makes you do one of those things.
When that came out on New Year's at like 1:30, I was just like, nah. That's when I snuck off to bed. Yeah. And everyone was like, don't go to bed. I'm like, you're getting Kinda Sucks to Suck out now? Yes, I'm going to bed.
I've literally never, the farthest I've seen is 3/4 away through the board, and that's when I quit. I've never even seen a game finish.
So the first night in Hawaii, we did finish it. Nick won.
Yeah.
Surprisingly.
So that was good. And then the Canucks game, I took your friends to after touring them downtown.
That game sucked so hard.
It was a brutal game.
They had a great time though, because they just like had.
Well, there was a fight, and all English, especially guys. Every dude that comes here from the UK and is like, I want to watch hockey. Yeah. All they want to see is a fight and some hits, and there was that. Juliet's first game though.
Yeah,
that on the other hand was really
huge. Crazy. Yeah.
Like Juliet was like, when she came in, she couldn't. Her eyes lit up like, whoa, what is this?
So many people.
Because it's one thing to be in a crowd. She's been in crowds now to the point where I think she's seen a lot of people. Like the airport has a lot of people. Yeah. But to be sitting in an open bowl of everyone cheering is just insane. Like I didn't realize until she walked in, because she has her little headphones. But it's so loud in there always. Even when no one's cheering, no music, it's just like 18.5 or 19,000 people talking
you really got
really loud.
I think it's so important to have her in headphones in that situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like by the third period, when she got restless and wanted to start taking them off, I was like, no. I was like, I'll let her take them off, but we're going into the little corridor.
We saw Colin there, remember?
Oh yeah, so
Colin,
random.
Remember we saw the people. So we thought these people came, like these two girls, and they had like baby's first game and all these like streamers and stuff. Remember the sign? But we were in the upper deck, but when you enter the upper deck, we went up, and then there was like down to go to the lower portion of the upper deck, and they went down there. And we were like, hey, up here, our baby's up here. And then they just ran away quickly. Yeah. Anyhow, Colin's my coworker. Yeah. We saw him at the game, and I was like, yo, Colin, like, what did you see that baby sign? I thought it was for us. And he said they had a baby in their row too. But it was weird because they saw it and then they didn't do the sign for it. Yeah. Yeah.
It was weird.
Anyhow.
They were like, nah, not this baby.
They're like, this baby's too
sucks.
cute. No, our baby. They're like, we can't put her on screen.
No, I don't think, to be fair, you were holding her up a bit like Lion King being like, this baby, but I'm not sure if they saw you, to be honest.
Fuck them.
But she did get to meet Finn.
Yeah.
But she kind of was a bit scared about him.
I mean, I would be too. He's a giant killer whale, and your natural instinct is to be afraid of killer whales.
Yeah.
All fear the Lizard King.
I guess that's good.
All fear the Lizard King. Do you know Blood Alley downtown?
No.
There's an alley downtown called Blood Alley, and it's literally, even on Google, like you looked at, and it's just an alley. It's not full of blood or anything. It's just called that, but there's all this like graffiti in it. And it says, there's this one spot, it just says, all fear the Lizard King. And it's just ever since, there's a picture when we were younger, all standing by laughing. Yeah. And it's just a hilarious tag. Maybe I'll get that on my back.
No one's painted over it?
No, well, maybe now, I don't know, but.
So weird.
I'm going to get that tattooed on my back, all fear the Lizard King.
Please don't ever do that. I beg of you.
Okay, so
what's on the list? What's on the agenda?
Well, this has been building up since last episode, so there's so much stuff. But here I have a question for you. This is starting off on a little transhuman note here. So me and Neve yesterday watched a movie called Don't Die. It's a documentary. It's with this guy.
Right, yeah.
Most people probably heard of him. He's trying to live forever, and he's 50, and he's a billionaire, and he's like doing all the anti-aging stuff. A question was asked in that, and I don't know if you picked up on it, it really intrigued me, was, do you think the first human is alive today that won't die?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
Do you think you can live forever? And let's just do a little more to this just before you give that answer.
Okay.
I'm referring to even consciousness, like, so maybe they get put in, so it doesn't literally have to be you.
Right. So you're not talking about physically live,
but like that idea of like,
yes,
Derek.
Then yes,
so
my answer changes.
Do you believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think so too. I think that's really close, especially some of the stuff like with consciousness I've been reading about, like the breakthroughs in consciousness, and they're starting to be able to map it, which just inevitably means that like they're gonna figure out how to like store it and compute. I don't know, it's really fucking weird.
No, is that not just terrifying to you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, like you've seen. Okay, I bring this back. I feel like I mention this every single time on this podcast. Black Mirror. Have you not seen the episode of Black Mirror where like somebody's dying, and instead of going into like afterlife care, she's choosing which universe she wants to be stored in? You can be like stored in different universes, called San Junipero.
Damn.
And you can go back to different like decades. Like she went back to the 80s. No, she like it was like 60s, 70s, 80s.
Could she was she aware that she went back to the 80s, or does she just kind of like restart life in the 80s?
No. She has lived her full life and knows that her body is no longer in existence, and she is now just living in the 80s in this like virtual thing, but it just feels like real life to her because that's how far it's developed, and she can interact with other people that are also stored.
Yeah, well, okay, this is the thing that's fucked, is like, what does it mean?
You just have a whole nother life, basically.
But like, I feel like the most bizarre hypothesis is the one that's becoming more and more believable, which is we are a simulation.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you think of it, like, have you ever seen that like thing? It's like all we are is just brains in a jar, and then there's like electrodes on our head, so everything we perceive and feel is really we're just a brain like being electrocuted and stimulated away to see and like perceive. Have you ever seen it? It's like a picture.
No.
Okay. Well, it's basically like everything we think and feel and think, we have our brain, right?
Yeah.
But really, if you were able to like get out of our brain and perceive what we really are, we're actually just a brain, and everything else, and we're just in like a tank, and everything's like projected into our brain via like I don't know. I just think it's really weird, and I don't want to be a part of it. Like, there's a lot of people that want this. This is the thing that I keep just coming back to in my head is I think by 2030, the entire world is going to be split up into people that, like, are like, yo, I just kind of want to, like, live as a human. There'll be a whole bunch that are like, fuck that, I'm out of here. Gabe sent me a thing. Here, I'm going to show you it. This is a freaking AI for $150,000 you can buy right now. And
how much are they? So a robot like Melody is $150,000, and that's fully AI capable and customized. But we can actually make the robot look like anything you want.
Oh, that chick?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Nah, that's sketchy.
And we can customize the AI so that it knows exactly what you want it to know. So it can learn about your company, it can learn about your product, or it can be your girlfriend.
Are we gonna be like, this is my
This is
family member?
Well, you could. We always say you can take our robots as a date to a wedding.
Why?
just didn't.
Okay, well, yeah, I don't know. It's just like, it just feels like to me there's so much weird shit going on right now that there's, it's just that. So anyhow, so you think, I agree. I think that there's someone alive on the planet today that will supersede death, and whether it be their consciousness, like maybe it's Bill Gates. Let's just use Bill Gates. Like Bill Gates will live on, even though he's not in Bill Gates's body. I think but it doesn't have to be Bill Gates. It's just someone.
All I know is they're gonna definitely supersede me, so I just don't care.
Okay, so okay, so here's another thing that's this is now going to go on to a whole bunch of stuff about Steve Jobs, actually. So Steve Jobs said computers are bicycles for the brain. And what he meant by that is to expand on that quote is, if he was referring to like you get on a bicycle and you can travel farther and you can exercise and it builds your body to be stronger, your cardiovascular system, so everything, but it's at this like accelerated rate as opposed to running. You're getting your exercise but moving farther. Okay, so do you get what he means by that? Whereas now when he's referring to the brain, is he's basically like saying like when you read and write, that's I guess walking for the brain, as opposed to computers is like riding a bicycle for your brain, which I thought was a really cool thought, because it's true. Like when you think of how much, I don't know, I don't want to call people, when I say this, I don't think people were dumb in the past. They were really smart. It's just they didn't have as much knowledge en masse. So like people would know stuff and be smart, but it'd be, I think, less. Whereas maybe people aren't as smart now, but they definitely have like a wider scope.
Well, you have access as well. You have access to all the information ever.
Yeah.
So it's like,
so it makes sense why it's like it's better than a library, and it's in the palm of your hand. So it makes sense. I don't know. I thought that was a really interesting quote.
Like if you imagine even before like cell phones with the internet existed, you're watching like a movie or something, and you're like, oh, I wonder who was in this. You're not gonna remember that, then go to a library and then research all the movies and find out who this, you know what I mean? You're not gonna do those processes.
Absolutely.
But when you have it at your fingertips, you can find out instantaneously. Even stuff like that is just like you have more access to anything and everything.
Well, what were we watching yesterday that we pulled it up on? We pulled up a whole bunch of stuff while we were watching in like half a second. We're just like, oh yeah, there we go. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. And then that goes into my next thing.
Oh, we were watching WWE and we wanted to see if there had been an injury.
Right, yeah, and we just
we
right
knew
away.
It happened maybe a couple hours ago, but we knew it was already going to be online. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Have you heard of screen apnea before?
No.
It's so sleep apnea, you like choke on your tongue, right? And it's like you stop your breathing, and then you go like, and it wakes you up. And then the problem with sleep apnea is you don't choke to death, but it's like you get lack of oxygen over time from always like choking. So there's this thing that's coming out called screen apnea now, and it's people have extremely low breathing and heart rate when they are in front of screens for too long. So although they're not literally choking to death, the screen has put their body into such a low level state that it actually causes, again, same thing as sleep apnea. You don't have sleep apnea for 2 years and have brain issues. It's over prolonged years and years and years, it does degenerate your brain and you get lack of oxygen.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing, but the only difference is screen apnea happens all the time, where sleep, it only happens when you sleep. And like people spend more time on screens than sleeping, probably.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Or at least the same amount.
Yeah.
So that's a crazy new condition that's come out of
From where?
Screens.
Yeah, I know, but like, where is this becoming a thing?
Just with people that spend too much, like the doctors are starting to see it pop up.
Oh, crazy.
Yeah, so it's a new condition.
That's super crazy.
And then, keeping on that same thing with screens, did you know Steve Jobs didn't let his kids have iPhones?
No.
Yeah, he
Why?
did. No, apparently, a ton of tech moguls, like all the Silicon Valley, doesn't.
Yeah.
Because they think that before they're 16 years old, between social media and then just the highly addictive nature of everything that's on a phone, you shouldn't expose your children to it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the same.
It makes sense. No, it makes
Yeah.
total sense. But it's just crazy because, like, you would have assumed Steve Jobs would have been the one like, oh, kids, I invented this. It's fine. But he's the one that's, like, well aware. And then if you think of all the things, like, I honestly think that I got nuked so hard by having a computer when I was, like, 12 or 13 years old with internet in my room. A little laptop. Because it just allowed me to be on the internet. Like, I would stay up till like 3 or 4 in the morning all the time just looking at videos and just doing...
Really?
Oh, yeah. Just because you're just a little kid and you're just, like, staring at a screen and you're like... Or like I'd stay up and I'd have it on and I'd be sleeping with it. And I just think that, like, it actually was, like... I was one of those people that got nuked so hard by it because I figure I'm like... Yeah, I always had trouble focusing and things like that.
Yeah.
And then I think back now, I'm like, well... All through high school, you had a laptop in your room with just internet. You could
That's
just like,
crazy.
and it's not just porn. Obviously, you'd watch porn, but it wasn't just that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just being on your screens, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think I had a VHS in my room, a VHS TV when I was like a little kid. But I used to fall asleep watching movies and everything, but I never had a phone even until I was like 12, and then I used the family computer until I was like 15.
See,
14, 15, and then I got a laptop. I would
yeah.
say.
See, like when I got a laptop, all I remember was like maybe I was like 13 or 14, but still it was like so young, right? But all I remember was Connor showed us how to, because Connor was the master of streaming back in the day when it was like you had to go to shitty websites and you had to like navigate. He always knew where the best streams were and like what to click to actually get to the next area and stuff.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was basically pre-Netflix. We had access to the entire world's like movie collection via the shitty like broken streams and shit like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just crazy. I'm just really like personally in a really good place with, I'm still trying to get off screens as much, and I don't want to say I'm like not still like using phones and stuff, but I just feel like I actually sit down now with Juliet and I'm like, we don't need to turn the TV on, we'll just do our thing, or I'll read a book and I don't need the TV on, whereas like until very recently I would get this weird feeling if I didn't have the TV on. Yeah,
I'm trying to switch it up because I still like, I don't know, I feel really weird when there isn't any background noise. And it doesn't have to be like a screen. Like I've tried to switch it to music now. Like I'll just put on music instead of
I like those lo-fis.
Putting on, I like the lo-fis. It's just something that's like there in the background.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been trying to do that too, and then kind of reading my book before bed instead of watching ASMR videos on YouTube.
It's tough because with like that's good you're doing that, but the problem with the ASMR is like they're really good to fall asleep to.
Yeah.
It's not like it's just like a thing you like. It's like it's a thing you like, but it's like a really good like, yeah, I'm just gonna, and then you fall asleep. You're like, ah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I watch them, is because they make me sleepy.
Yeah.
So,
But how's reading a book doing?
It's okay. I feel like I have to read a lot before I get tired, because I don't know, and it's funny because the ASMR I watch is very I like light triggers and stuff, which really like works your eyes and gets them tired, and that's what I don't like. I feel like it takes a lot more for me to work my eyes. Yeah, like so hard. That one's lasted over a year though. Your mom got that for Neve.
That was a good bottle of wine.
Yeah.
You know.
It's rum.
Sorry to interrupt.
Anyway, but I feel like I need my eyes to get tired because my brain won't by itself.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Yeah.
fair. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying a lot of new habits, but I actually, this is gonna be something that I think this is my thing, and I think you're gonna hear me talking a lot about it because it's my newest thought.
Okay.
So I don't like time doesn't exist, right? Like it does to us, but it's like our construct of time. Like supposedly time isn't real.
Yeah.
Or like I shouldn't say that, but like it isn't real.
No,
but
no,
like
no.
you know what I
I
mean,
know what
right?
you mean.
So I feel like the world time is speeding up, and the reason I think time is speeding up is because of technology and the internet and digital stuff. Okay. And what I mean by that is when you watch anything on screens, whether it be social media or sports or just like anything, everything is bright popping colors and it's snappy, like snaps to this frame and this frame, right? Like it's all, and that didn't matter back when TVs what they were. But now everything is super digitized and everyone's like super zoned in on their phones way more. And the technology's starting to speed up. So everything's just getting more and more like fast and like instant, right?
Yeah.
And we don't understand it because we're in it. So like we're like, yeah, no, like time's the same. But I swear, if I start reading my book and I put my phone away and everything, I feel time's different. And what I mean by that is this. If I go on my phone for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to look at something, an hour will go by and I'll go, what the fuck? But if I open my book and read for an hour, it was an hour. I know that. Like it felt like an hour. Well, like so I don't know what exactly that means, but I just have this underlying feeling of I feel like time is like going into a digital age is going faster.
I can see where you're coming from with that, because it's the same concept as my worst one, and I think this is actually the longest time I've gone without it. It was TikTok.
Right.
Because and when TikTok started off, it was literally like, I think it was 10-second and then 30-second videos were like your max, and now they go on for like 2 or 3 minutes or something.
Okay.
But
it always happens.
Yeah.
Like that.
Like these 30-second one, you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like scroll and watch a few videos, and then it's literally been like an hour and a half, 2 hours, and I've just been scrolling
That's
through
what
videos.
I mean. Yeah.
But when I'm at the gym and I have to do like 15-20 minutes on a cardio machine, like I'm like counting down the seconds, like they feel longer.
Absolutely.
So I understand what you mean, and like our concept of time is so different when doing different things.
Exactly.
And especially, you know, the past kind of yours and mine, our lifetimes, we have seen the craziest technology surge ever in all of time.
Without
which
a doubt.
which like
Well,
is
in
just
human
crazy
history.
to me. Yeah. In human history. Like we literally went from dial-up internet to where we are now.
In like 20 years max.
Yeah.
Max, it was 20 years.
And
that
you
happened.
think of everything that has happened through history, and this is just like such a crazy significant surge in technology to the point where in 20 years we're now asking the question if it's possible for us to live forever. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a nuts concept.
Like when I was like 20, so 14, almost 15 years ago, if you had said, oh, you can live forever, but like we're gonna have that technology to live forever, you would have been like, what? Like it would no one, not one person would have been like, I believe you. Every single person, people, like aliens, the thought of aliens was like you were laughed at 15 years ago.
Exactly. And now there's
aliens.
There's aliens.
There's just aliens. And,
I mean,
and if you don't know that, go look it up. The Congress has talked about it.
There are aliens. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like kind of cool to like be alive at the point where that progression is happening, but also it like scares the fucking bejesus out of me, and I don't want to be any part of it in any way, and I will actively choose not to think about it wherever possible.
Yeah, that's fair. I really like thinking about it.
Yeah,
I know you hate it.
I know.
Like it. Sorry.
I hate it so much. I know. I don't mind like talking about it. I'm just, if I know I'm the type of person, if I think too much into it, then that's all I'll think about, and I'll just get super depressed.
Okay, you want to hear a crazy like alien thing?
Okay.
This is all on this. So, you know the little gray aliens, right? The grays. So there's a lot of I'm gonna just fill everyone in on kind of what's happened in the last basically since COVID. There's some stuff over the start of COVID, I want to say like 8 months in, where they like came out and they started having all these videos, things come up. And there was a Congress hearing where they asked 3 guys, David Grush, and these 2 other guys, Commander Graves and one other guy, about aliens. And they were all whistleblowers, and they talked about UFOs and UFO crafts and non-human organics that they found on them, right? So that was the first one. And it was kind of a nondescript. And then they had another one that was still nondescript. And then they just had one about month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, and literally like they acknowledged that they have non-human remains, and then the CIA blocked any information about it, and so now they're like going into another state of it. But what has gone forward, and this boggles my mind, is they don't think aliens, whatever this is, they don't think it's from another planet. They think it's from here. I know, and this is me, the alien guy. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. I thought the alien, and so this is, and again, this is pretty far out there.
Yeah.
What people believe the grays are is, or the like what they're talking about now is the fact, Nuo, you're so cute. They think the gray aliens are us from the future.
Right. I think I remember you
and what we're seeing
this
is
to me.
time travel.
Yeah.
And basically, if you listen to all contactee stories that have been like abducted and all this stuff, the way they describe the grays is they say things like this. So there's the tiny little ones with the bug eyes and the big heads, and they always seem inorganic and kind of robotic to them. But then there's large, tall ones, and they always are like kind of like pale, slight people, look way more human-like, but still like big eyes, buggy, and they're like way more like calming, and it feels like it's all telekinesis they're talking through, but like it feels like you are there with a being, like something that's like human, or I don't want to say human, but like a life form, as opposed to the grays they always say feels mechanical.
Yeah.
And now if you didn't think what I've said already is far-fetched, it's about to get a little crazier. Okay. What they think is happening, and this is kind of to do, if you believe in the Bibles and God, is, so you know how they said that we were made in their image and likeness, and blah blah blah, and there's going to be an antichrist, and God will come after that to judge you, to take your souls and all that stuff, right? Like the whole story of religion is basically kind of this thing of like we were put here and God's going to kind of come and judge us again. So there's this belief that like with AI and everything coming in and all these chips that we're slowly going away from being human. So again, transhumanism. And what these aliens from the future are is they're us from the future, and they've gone so far down this technological thing, and they're always warning about the dangers of like progressing and like not taking care of our planet, and like there's like just all these things and this is from like contactees, and there's thousands of them. You're just gonna have to take my word on this. I've looked more into aliens and stuff over my life than pretty much anything, with the exception of a few things, or not anything, but like it's up there at the top of the list. And so yeah, they're like saying that it's like us from the future, but we lose, like we go so down a tech road, and they're trying to warn us to not do that. And I don't believe that myself personally. This is just like what like people are speculating of the grays and stuff. And I just thought it was an interesting thought, because it like, I don't know. Do you believe that time travel can happen?
For me personally, I believe that time travel will happen one day, but I don't believe that that's what this is. I think there's too much unknown about the planets out there that for us to not notice some kind of way that people are traveling through time. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think the technology we have on our planet now would be able to take us back in time, but I believe there's enough research on it to detect if they think other people are traveling back in time.
That's,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the whole thing, is like, for example, UFOs. Whenever you see anything alien, period, like even not you, but like people that believe it or that they get things, you can never actually see it. And they're saying because they've traveled through time, it's like this unstable thing, so you can't do it. Anyhow, I personally don't believe that, because I'm more like, everything I've believed in aliens has kind of been on in the realm of, we live in this giant universe, and everything you do is within like planets and galaxies, like, oh, they're over there. Yeah. And they had the technology and the ability to get here, whether that be like wormholes. I believe in all that. Yeah. But the idea that then, so like, let's just pretend what I said's true. So gray aliens are us from the future. They lost their soul via technology, and they're trying to warn us about us, which is kind of like the overall narrative of what I just told you. I'm just like, so wait, then, so like, do no other planets exist, and everything is the Earth is the only thing? Because it just kind of like, to me,
boxes you in.
It boxes, yeah. So like, it kind of is the whole idea of like, we're the center of the universe,
which is absolutely not.
Yeah. So then all of a sudden, no, it's all time travel, but turns out the rest of the universe is empty. I'm like, that doesn't line up with what I believe. I believe the universe is really populated. Yeah. It's just maybe there's great distance between everything.
You know my theory on it. I think like Men in Black shit is already happening.
Yeah.
Like I fully believe there's probably like a little friggin' phone booth somewhere in England that leads you to like MI6 alien department, and they're all just like aliens fucking walking around there.
I mean, I believe fully, maybe not literally Men in Black style, but I think aliens are here for sure.
Yeah. I think people are like, oh, do you think we might have contact? I'm like, I think they're living here, buddy. Like, I fully think there's aliens living on this earth as just regular people.
Okay, what is an like, this is I do believe in more like literal, like human like, or like humanoids like beings that are alive, but like, if you don't believe in aliens, what the fuck is an octopus? Yeah, like like between us, an octopus and a giraffe, that's such a radical difference in things that I'm like, come on, there's got to be aliens somewhere at least.
Yeah, like, and you can't like perceive. And another fun fact is we know more about outer space than we do about the bottom of our oceans. Yeah. So true. You know, even if there aren't aliens from space, like, how do you know there's not something deep down dark in like the dark there? You don't know. You could never know.
I've been thinking of this. What if we sold our basement suite?
To the devil.
I was gonna say, well, we could try that. I'd be down. Honestly, I'd be down to try if we didn't have a daughter.
Yeah,
I just
true.
wouldn't want to bring her into this. And then
Yeah.
like, I feel like if I sold my soul to the devil, there'd be like this dark shadow around Juliet's life just because I sold my soul to the
100%,
devil.
yeah.
What if we sold our rental apartment and bought a boat?
I don't
You
think
can, you can do this. Trust
Okay,
me.
okay.
I looked into it.
All right.
AI.
Yeah, with AI.
and we mapped the ocean, but with hand mapped it.
Hand mapped it,
So,
like the
we'll-
deepest depths.
Like we'll be going, and I'll just have a pencil, and you'll be like, and I'll be like, "Okay, I think we're here now," and I'll just like draw the ocean, just like Columbus did.
Just like what, you just color a whole page blue? You're
And,
like,
and then like
ocean.
and then
Yeah,
and then I put it like really hard crayon, and I'm like, this is a deeper spot.
yeah, just you and me. I'll go down and measure
we have to
how
bring
far it
Newell and
is.
Juliet too. We
Yeah.
have to get her a new life jacket.
I think we'd probably need a submarine for that. Juliet does have her sea legs though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I took her swimming today and she had a lot of fun, so I think she'd be fine.
Yeah, she'd be. I would not be. When we were buggy boarding or skim board, what's it? Stomach boarding, body boarding, whatever the fuck it's called. In Hawaii, I actually got seasick and like almost threw up. So I definitely am. I'm more of a land person, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm good in mountains and rivers and
Yeah. So this boat's a no go probably.
yeah. I take it back.
Suggested
Well,
it and rolled out.
yeah, no, I'm bailing on this.
2 whole
fine.
seconds.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great plan.
Okay, we're moving on here. Okay, I don't know. That's a little heavy. I want to go a little bit lighter now. We've had some heavy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, have I brought up the recycling grocery bag mayhem?
The recycling grocery bag mayhem?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
What?
So I just feel like, you know, when you go to the grocery store and they offer you the bag, they're like, do you want a bag?
Yeah.
So I might be shooting myself in the foot here, but I feel like most people just get the 25-cent bag,
Yeah.
right? Like you're supposed to keep reusing them, and I'm sure some
Yeah.
people do, but I'm assuming most people walk into the grocery store, because I don't see anyone with them, and then they go, do you want bags? And they don't have, because if everyone was reusing bags,
Yeah.
they'd have a few bags, but they have like mountains of those little black bags and the save-on ones. So I literally was cleaning out our cupboards. This was a while ago.
Oh, you did?
This was a while ago,
Yeah.
right?
Okay,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
before you.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
This is
I
a while
remember,
back when I wrote this, and I couldn't get over how many of those recyclable bags came, and I kept pulling them out. And the thing was, it wasn't like there was like, let's say like 15 bags.
Yeah.
There's 15 bags stuffed full of 30 more bags. Like there's so many. And then I pulled them out and I was like, this is madness. And I couldn't deal with it. And then I go to my mom's house and she had even more. And I'm just sitting here and I'm like, I swear to God, this is somehow worse than when we just use plastic bags. Like somehow we're saving the planet by making more bags. Like, and it was so ridiculous. And all I was thinking, I was just like, there's something wrong with this. And I don't know, leave in the comments if you do use the recyclable bags, but I don't believe it.
Do you know what's so funny though? Is I remember having these thoughts when I was a kid. And I don't know if you have it in your house, but in my parents' house, they had this tiny little like crack in between the cupboards
Okay.
that was purely for plastic bags. And they'd like scrunch up their plastic bags and like push them way in, and it would just be stacked with a ton of them at a time. So you would go and take your plastic bag back to the store. Like if you needed something to carry something in, you would just take a plastic bag from the
My mom,
thing.
we didn't have it like that, but my mom had she had a ton of plastic bags and she folded them into perfect little triangles. So every time you just grab a little triangle.
that's
But
cute.
yeah.
We just had them like stuffed
Stuffed
in.
in there.
So you saying that actually like takes me back to that place, because I can totally see that's exactly what I did in that cupboard. Every time I go grocery shopping, I'm just like, yeah, put the bags in the cupboard because I might need them again.
Like, I just genuinely want to know. I'm not against getting rid of the plastics if we are trying to save the environment and all that.
Yeah.
But did we get rid of plastic bags, or did we make these weird
Just
fiber
exchange
ones
them
that I'm
for
pretty
fiber
sure are
bags.
not fiber. They're probably made of plastic still. Like they're like reused plastic.
Yeah.
So now we have thicker like 25-cent bags that are thicker plastic, but it's like, is there a difference, or are these things maybe you throw them in the forest and they biodegrade? In which case I'm like, okay, but I don't think that's the case.
I think that's the idea, but also it's kind of pointless having that idea when all you're doing is filling those bags with like so much plastic as well.
Yeah,
Like think of the like the trays that we had that don't fit in the fridge.
Yeah.
Like that's a ridiculous amount of plastic for something that's just
For some
not needed.
fruit.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is actually one thing that pisses me off with all this climate change and net zero stuff. Sorry, this is, I guess, the most political thing we've probably ever talked about on the podcast.
Yeah.
I just find it, I'm so skeptical of it all. And it's not because I don't think that the planet's getting polluted and warming and we're doing stuff. It's this idea of we got to take care of it. And then the hypocrisy of, they're like, we got to get banned plastic straws. COVID hits, and now all of a sudden they're telling us just to order skip the dishes, which is infinitely more plastic. And then you're like, oh, well, Amazon does everything, and Amazon just delivers. You get like a lighter, and it comes in a whole bunch of bubble wrap.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay, so like, I'm for saving the planet. You don't even have to give me, oh, the planet's dying. I'm just for not polluting the planet.
Yeah.
Even if it didn't make it die. But like, let's be real here and actually make decisions that are forward, not just keep saying things and then doing weird shit that just is the exact same or worse.
Yeah, no, I fully agree with you. I think it's a lot of kind of front of like, oh, look what we're doing to help save the planet, and then not a lot is like actually happening.
Yeah, like LA is literally, or California, the Southern California is all on fire. And then they're going to be like, no, we got to do more to get rid of, like, ban emissions. And then they're going to make some weird thing that'll, on the other hand, just, or I don't know, we're at war now. There's wars going on everywhere. So we're trying to save the planet by cutting back and taxing. But at the same time, we're in the middle of a giant war. And you're like, okay, well, if we're actually worried about the planet like the world claims we are, let's stop the wars. And I know that's such a, like, that's not going to happen. Like, I know I'm just saying it just is so, like, asinine to me.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of showboating, to be honest with you.
Yeah, it is.
And what I feel like is super ironic is stuff like that. You're like, oh, well, we're trying to save the planet, so we're gonna charge... You think about how many bags we had, right? 25 cents for each of those. So they're charging us for saving a planet that they fucked. Mm-hmm. And they can just make rules to do whatever they want and then charge us to be like, oh, guys, look, we're doing something about it. Like, yeah, taking your money and...
Yeah, we're
and using that.
We're taxing you so you don't buy as many bags. And I'm like, that makes no sense. What does that have to do with the environment?
Meanwhile, they're all flying in like fucking private jets to their...
That's still just the best one is the World Economic Forum meets in Davos every year to talk about how to save the planet, as 15,000 or 1,500 of the richest people all fly on individual private jets there. And you're like,
That's interesting. So funny.
Yeah, so that's what I mean when I say the shopping bag mayhem, and that was all just the tangent I went on wasn't what I wrote down. It was more just I remember I was just pulling out so many bags full of bags, and then there'd be more bags jammed in those bags, and I'm like, how is this possible? And then I go to the store and I walk in, and the woman's like, do you want another, like, do you want a bag? And I'm like, yes. And then I flash back to our entire thing of bags, and I'm like, boy, I wish I had one of those.
That's the thing. I do try and keep now a set of the actual like heavy duty ones in the back of my car. So if I know I'm gonna go and do like a big grocery shop, I do take them with me.
The problem is I don't shop frequent enough.
No, you don't.
Like whenever I go into the grocery store, like for example, today I go in, literally I'm like, there's 2 hours left in work, and I'm like, yeah, I want to get some chips, like some nachos.
Yeah,
and some
you're like
water.
an in and out.
So I just all of a sudden like there.
But if you kept one in your car, then you would
No,
have one
no,
in
no,
your
no, because
car.
I have had them in my car. It doesn't matter. Like it's not a thing if I say it and go, fuck that. I'm not like that. It's in my head and I throw it in the garbage on the way in. No, it's just like, I don't think about it. It's,
You know what you should do is you should like, I'm gonna make you an air freshener that's in the shape of a shopping bag and it says there's bags in the back.
okay, do
And
that.
then-
That'd actually be great.
yeah,
Because
I
I'm
thi-
not
I
against.
think you would
I'm not
fully
against
remember it that way.
using recyclables. I just don't think people use them. And
Yeah,
and
no,
again,
100%.
and
people
again,
don't use them.
if all three of our viewers, so Joach, if you hear this and you use bags, let us know, and then we'll change our mind. Because like really,
Mm-hmm.
our fan base, whatever they say, I view as the world's view.
Yeah.
Because everyone's tuned into us, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, if Joach messages in and he's like, I use my bag every day,
Yeah.
one bag had it for 10 years, then I'm sitting here looking like an ass because the world
I'm just reminding our audience that what we say is not facts.
yeah
At all.
yeah I don't know, again, if you are tuning in for facts, you've been
Just
mistaken,
yeah,
sir.
just don't listen to us.
Like if there was a fact checker, it'd just be the whole time I'm
Like, I
talking
think these
going
guys
ping,
are
ping,
wrong.
ping, ping, ping.
I think these guys are wrong, you know. Disclaimer alert: we don't think we're right about everything.
Imagine every time that you like made a misinformation, it was just like beeped like you're swearing. So every time I talk, it just like eep, as I was saying. Eep.
That'd be so good. I wonder if we listen to our podcast in China, what they'd think.
I actually hear we're actually really big in South Korea. We haven't
Yeah?
broke into North Korea yet, but I think it's the dictatorship.
Might be that, yeah, a little bit.
Okay, I think I asked this, so if I did, I'm sorry, but I feel like it was on that podcast. Just for the record, me and Neve, every single podcast we've recorded, we've never stopped it to re-record. So if we stop, it's because like we had to go and get the baby or something
Yeah.
happened. It's never been
was
like, oh, we got to
technical.
retake something.
Yeah.
Except there was one podcast we tried to do, I want to say on the 26th or so. It was over Christmas, and we started and we were just exhausted.
Yeah, we were just
we did
not
like 10
no.
minutes and we just were like, fuck this, and
Yeah.
didn't do it. So I think I asked this over that. I hope it was, so that it wasn't already out there. But
Okay.
do you evil people think like they wake up and they go, let's be evil today and do evil things? Like, was Hitler trying to be evil? Or was like, so like, but let's not use Hitler because he's too extreme. Like, let's maybe like, do you think someone like wakes up and they're like, today I'm a corporation, like I'm going to cut down those trees in that area because I'm evil? Or do you think it's more like they're like trying to make profit, or they think it's the right thing or something like that?
I don't think evil is a thing that you like wake up and do. I think it's I guess perception of someone's empathical emotions.
Perception of someone's empathical emotions. So
So
So no,
you're
they
it's so no they don't.
they don't. Okay.
It's kind of your perception. I was gonna
Like,
try and describe it another way. So if someone's like, for example, if you're a business man and you're like, I'm gonna chop down these trees, you're not doing it because you want to be evil and hurt the planet. You're doing it because you're a businessman. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't think people do things. I mean, there are probably really
there's
fucked up
like,
people
for
that
example,
do
for
things.
example, like Hitler's a good
evil.
example of like, maybe he didn't, like, maybe in his head he thought he was doing the right thing, but that's
yeah.
so evil. I'm more talking about normal stuff that's not massacring populations, if that makes sense. I know it sounds crazy.
like what though?
Well, like, I don't
give
know,
me
like,
a scenario.
like someone like someone, like, maybe not cutting down trees, but some guy high up on the corporate ladder that fires a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
Do you think he's like, today we're gonna do some evil and fire all these families, or do you think he's more like, we're doing this for my job, I got to do this, and they don't view it as evil because or bad because it's like that? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a weird question. I know.
I
haven't thought
I think it really depends where your ethics lie at the end of the day. Like, and that's what I meant when I said empathy. I'm like, your empathy for other people versus your ethical and moral position.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
This, I didn't mean to do this, but this is actually a really good segue into this next part. Okay, so I heard this quote, and this quote tripped my mind.
Okay.
Benignality is the biggest catalyst to evil. Now, do you know what benign means?
Yeah.
So, like, malignant is like, as if you're referring to cancer, malignant's like, it's aggressive, it attacks, it moves around. Benign is kind of like, it's like if you have a cyst, but it's benign, it's nothing. It's a growth, it's nothing. So benignality is the biggest catalyst to evil. And I think that's true. Because evil is evil, okay?
Yeah.
But what is benign? You're just kind of like there. You're just meh, whatever. So I think it's the people that don't have like that they allow things to happen by their passivity. That's the biggest catalyst to evil. Right. Because most people, I don't think, unless you're also bad, you're not like behind that dude being like, yeah, like let's, again, I don't know if Hitler's the best example, but he's always like, when you think of a bad dude, like, there was the people that supported Hitler, but there was the people that just didn't do anything that catalyzed to allow Hitler to propel. Yeah. Right? I think that's what that's kind of meaning. Is the people that said nothing.
I can see that concept. Like, I can see that being a concept, but for me, I think you gotta, I don't think benignality, is that what you said?
Yes.
Is the biggest issue.
Yeah, I didn't say it was the biggest issue.
Oh, what did you say?
It's the biggest catalyst of it. So it's like a catalyst is like something you throw on to make it like more.
No.
No, don't agree?
I don't think so.
Cool.
I think truly like evil in their soul, evil people are just fucking evil. Like, those are what? Okay, continue.
So yeah, but what this isn't referring to saying like Hitler was more evil because of that. It's more the thought of like bad people doing bad things. People that are passive and don't do anything are the catalyst to make it worse, as opposed to like someone that's a murderer. Yeah. It's not people that are just passive or indifferent that make them an evil murderer. I'm not referring to an individual in that sense. I'm referring to like the broader spectrum of what evil is or bad. So like, you know how they said, you know, have you heard that quote? Like, they came for the iron or the workers, and I said nothing. They came for the carpenters, and I said nothing. They came for this group of people, I said nothing, and then they came for me, and there was no one to come to defend me. Have you heard that? Here, I'm gonna pull up the quote.
No.
Have you heard that quote?
No. I just don't. I don't really get what you're saying. Okay. I'm not gonna lie.
I might have not said it properly.
Okay.
Okay. Here, let's see. Here's the quote. God damn you! Fucking get away from me, AI. First they came for.
Are you good?
No, I just hate whenever you. I hate whenever you Google anything, AI answers you first now.
Yeah, like I didn't ask you.
Okay, so this is a quote from a pastor during the Holocaust. Okay, and this is all in reference. First they came for the communists, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. Then they came for the trades unionists, and I did not speak out because I was not a trades unionist. And then they came for the Jews, and did not speak out because I was not a Jew. And then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak out for me. So basically, that's kind of follows the same theme of what I was saying there. So like by not saying anything, you allow evil to happen. That's like that,
yeah. I get what
you don't have to
saying.
agree. It's
No,
just
no, no, no.
it's just something I heard, and it's kind of a thought. I'm not like dying on any fence posts here on that.
I get what you're saying, but I think en masse, if people are benign, then the cause and effect is like could potentially be evil, or it could be good. You can't. I don't think you can judge that situation on other people's benign ability, as they say.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's no, it's like it's a vote, right? If it's a no vote, then it could have gone either way. You just took out your input into it.
I'm wondering if you're maybe getting caught up on the word benign. Benign just basically means you're like indifference or like
exactly. Yeah, no,
okay,
exactly.
okay, cool.
That's exactly that's what I mean. So
Okay,
like
cool. Just
if
making
you're
sure you knew that.
indifferent to something, then is the responsibility on you to decide which way it goes, or are you just self-preserving?
Let me think of this.
And what do you value more? There's so many questions you have to ask before you can say that's a catalyst.
Well, like, I don't know. So, like, I'll just return to that quote I just read. Like, so I guess, do you only worry about yourself or do you worry about others? Because that quote is basically saying, like, that if you only worry about yourself, inevitably, it's kind of like that thought of, like, you're with them until you're against them. So it's like, it's kind of one of those things of, like, if you don't care about other people, inevitably there will become a time when there's like things turn on you and you have no one to care for you.
I think it's not that I don't care about other people. I just care more about the people that mean something to me. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, I stand and look at my group of people that I would consider friends or like close friends or family. Mm-hmm. Like, I would do anything and everything for them, and if there was an injustice in our like internal thing, then yeah, I would 100%, you know, like speak up and do everything I can. But if it wasn't on that mass situation where it was that I might choose to preserve myself and my people over anyone else.
Yeah,
So, like, that's just where I'm coming from and my personal view of it. And maybe that could be a catalyst to something bad. I don't know, but my priorities lie at my base and not with people outside of that.
Yeah, I don't know how I think that that's a true quote, but like I do believe that, like, in reality, like, for example, again, I don't think it's the best example. It's just for whatever reason. Well, I know why. It's because Hitler's always, like, the Nazis are always like in our like scope of what we see.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most recent.
But like the thing is, like, kind of like the Americans, let's just say they could have stepped in and stopped the Nazis sooner. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying, let's say they could have. Yeah. But they didn't until they got bombed. So the reason the Nazis got to where they were was because the Americans were benign, like they were indifferent to what was going on in the world, right? So then the question becomes like, well, do you worry about just yourself or others? Because the Americans, like, I don't know if there's a right answer, but it's weird because I don't believe in like the war that's going on in Russia, Ukraine, and all that stuff, right? But but then that's kind of, you sit there and you go, well, that's like the people that believe in that, they believe that the war is like fighting off Russia. But then it's all just I guess depends on what your like perspective is on all that stuff, and how you like perceive that is like who's benign or what's fighting for who's standing up for the right. So I don't know. Honestly, I feel like in the last 2 years, I've tried my hardest to try and figure out like what's going on in a reality. And I feel like the more I look into things, I can't trust anything. And I don't mean that like what is, I don't know. I feel like everything, there's so much going on and there's so many levels and layers to everything that as soon as you find something out, if you look into it a little more, there's some kind of things kind of start shifting a little where you're like, wait, so is this true? Is that true? I don't think you and I have the ability to get truly accurate information. It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's literally impossible now.
Yeah.
I realized it the most when Donald Trump got shot at, because when it happened, I just remember someone in our boys chat was like, yo, Donald Trump got shot at, and everyone's like, oh, like said a few things, but then someone said, is this actually real or is this fake? And I'm like 100% confident Donald Trump got shot at, and we have the video of him being shot at. But the fact that someone asked, I think it was Steve, but it doesn't matter who. The fact that someone asked that is 100% a valid question.
Yeah.
Especially before you actually see Donald Trump after, like not in the video, but like after, when there's like more and more of him and he had his ear taped and stuff. But like you could have literally just saw that someone get shot in the head and it was 100% AI and you just didn't know.
Yeah.
And that's fucked.
Yeah.
Like that's so fucked.
I know. That's the thing. You just can't trust anything you see anywhere now. And you know, this brings me back to the ability to put likeness of people, like dead people, in movies now. And I said this when this first came out. I said this when this very first came out, when they first did it. And I maybe it wasn't the very first time they did it. We're not a fact show. Don't fact check me. But
fact checked.
Carrie Fisher in that Star Wars, that was the first time when it was kind of like bought up, because she died before they finished filming it, and they were like, oh, is it kind of unethical to use her likeness?
Damn.
Which I think it 100%
Yeah, that's
is.
like before it was actually a conversation, right?
Yeah. And I think that's a really fucked up thing to do, and not necessarily in that like scenario where she died before she finished filming the thing, but it's a really fucked up thing to open up the world to that, because you're completely destroying like actors in general. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't even need to do it. You can just be written in by a robot. It makes like people do things that they would never have done before. It means that you can have VR of a celebrity, like POV porn. Like you can, that's such an invasion of people's rights that once they die, you can just decide to do with their legacy what you
we don't
will.
even need actors anymore, because we have enough. Like you could just, everyone that's there now, like you could just be like, well, we'll just keep using Leo and
then
Tom, and
you take that
blah,
out
blah,
of
blah.
you take that out of just acting, right? You take that into politics, the things that you can have politicians say do survive.
Yeah.
There, and then you take that into sport. We watched the Simpsons play fucking football.
Yeah, that
You know
was
what I mean?
fucking crazy.
Like,
Okay,
you don't even need to have athletes anymore. You can just have people that look like AI playing sport.
Yeah, so just for the people watching, we were in Hawaii, and our buddy Hunter's a big football guy, and we were watching the Dallas Cowboys game, but the entire thing was played out with Simpsons characters doing, like, it was like the quarterback would be like Bart.
Yeah,
and
it's
then
so wild.
It was so, and it wasn't very good, but it was the start. Like, yeah, I just feel like in the future, you're going to plug into a headset and you're going to have like this, like, there won't be a such thing as a video game anymore. You'll go like let's say you want to play a video game, you're going to plug in and you'll go, I want to play a video game where I'm a knight trying to fight a dragon, and then it'll generate that, and then you'll be like, I want it to be where we're fighting in a dark forest and blah blah blah, and you'll just literally say whatever you want and it'll be there and you can do it. There's no like oh, I bought this game and played this game. It's just every single thing. Or I want to watch a funny movie about this and this, and then it just does it for you. It's not like everyone watching this. I don't know.
So crazy.
And then if that's real, if that's all real, I do think there's a chance. I'm one book, so right now I'm reading a 1,000-page book. It's 950, but I'm gonna say it's 1,000. The book I'm gonna cut it up with is the Vedas, which is the Hindu Bible, or the Hindu like scripture, and they talk about time very differently.
Oh, really?
And talk about size. They explain it all, and they explain the universe. And I do think it's possible that everything just gets bigger and smaller. Like the Grinch takes place on a snowflake.
Yeah.
I feel like that happens, but it's like everything that we see in our universe and galaxy is on the edge of a snowflake. But once that snowflake melts, it's like, well, so what? We just melt with the snowflake. Well, our perception of time and our whole universe takes place and ends before that snowflake even like exists for a second.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. I just think that's possible. And then if like what you're talking about with all the VR and everything like that's true, then that just kind of to me makes that more confirmed that it's just like, everything's just bigger and smaller.
Like the Matrix.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, correct.
Okay, so we're at an hour and 20 in.
That was good.
I'm still having a good time. I don't know. Do you have to go to bed?
No, I do have to go pee though.
Do you want to take a pee?
Yeah, I'll take a pee.
Okay, I'm not gonna pause because I'm just gonna.
Okay, you have a little chit chat, and I'll go pee.
I'm just gonna chat with everyone for a second here. So we've been gone for a while. Got to apologize for that first. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of been nice for us to have a break. I love podcasting, and I'm super excited to be back. But it is a, like, you have to put an effort to do this. So as much as I was really disappointed, every week I wanted to podcast, it's just, it couldn't happen. Now that we're back doing it, it was actually a nice break to just break it up a bit. For the new year, so right now we are at, how many episodes are we at right now? We've got to be up this. So I think we're at 54, 55. I've pledged to get to 125. So we got to get more episodes in. But to be fair, I'm already 3 months ahead of what I said I was going to do for this. So I think it can happen. But what I need from you, the listeners, is I'd really like to have guests. Me and Dax on 3-Person Circle are lining up quite a few guests. Me and Neve would love to have people on. I would just love, even if they're not there, just to get people on. So please message me if you want to come on and talk about anything. Like, for example, Alec came on and he talked about geology. And I think I don't want to like rank our podcasts on what's most enjoyable, because I've enjoyed them all for a lot of reasons. But I have to say, out of all the podcasts we've done, I thought that was the coolest, in the sense of like, we brought a professional on, and he talked about his profession. So if you want to go that way, we'll gladly listen to whatever you want to talk about. It doesn't even have to be your profession. Or like the other one that it was a really fun one we had was Jack came on, and as much as we interviewed Jack, it was more of us just chopping up and chatting. So don't feel like you have to come on and have to have an interesting topic. It's just, we'd want to come on and chat with people more. So please reach out if you want to.
I was gonna say, yeah, we like non-interesting people too.
We'll turn your mic off, so you'll be talking and we'll just ignore you, but you'll be there. Yeah, it'll be like Roger's on the pod, and he'll be talking, and you just can hear his muffled voice.
He's like Kenny from South Park.
So I just want to take this moment to talk about our unofficial sponsor. Now usually just why is this an hour and 23 minutes in? Because it's the unofficial sponsor. So if you want to become the official sponsor, we'll drop your name mid-ad or mid-pod. Start of the pod. During the pod. Anyhow, unofficial sponsor today is Fume Flavored Air.
This was actually made in Calgary.
I do, yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Calgary product. I'm not gonna lie. So why did we get Fume? To cut down on bad smoking habits. How have you felt about fume so far?
I mean, this is the longest I've not vaped for since Juliet was born.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't wanted to blaze or had to blaze since I've started this. I mean, I do have my vape, but what I've noticed with that is like once this runs out, I'm just gonna fully stop it. And this
Yeah.
is the last one, just for the record.
Yeah.
But the main thing I've noticed is it does really like it curbs that feeling of wanting to smoke something.
Yeah, I mean, it fulfills the action. So that does help it. I am definitely noticing like nicotine withdrawals, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Good.
Honestly, because and I think it's because that like you still get the reflex.
Yeah, well, it's weird. I can't. The thing I can't really figure out. So, like, it just go look up fume, FUM, and you can see what it looks like. It's, I don't know. It's the narrow tube of it all, and then the
Yeah.
flavor. Like you feel like you're inhaling something. The thing that makes it weird is when you breathe out, because nothing. You're like,
Yeah.
and that feels exactly like smoking. But then when you breathe
Yeah, like
out,
when you hit a vape and then there's
nothing's
nothing.
there. You're
Yeah.
like, what the hell? So anyhow, we have most of the flavors. The mint one was really good. I have spearmint as well. I'm trying the peach, and I like peach. Raspberry lemonade was amazing.
I put another raspberry lemonade in mine right now.
And you're feeling it?
Yeah.
Oh, is it brand new?
Yeah.
Can I
Do you want to
try
try
it?
it?
Oh, yeah. Get some of this.
The raspberry lemonade, I think, is the best one. I also have the peach. I like that.
Holy, this one's crazy.
Yeah.
This one tastes like lemonade.
Yeah, the one I didn't like was I didn't like the white cran because it tasted like potpourri.
Yeah.
So we both smelled it. We were like, yeah, this is just kind of like you're
Smells
taking in some potpourri.
But yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know how people with cigarettes are, like how that addiction is in tobacco and all that. But I can understand why this would be a good attempt if you're trying to quit smoking. I'm not gonna say like, oh, it'd be easy and it would for sure, but I feel like
Yeah.
like it does do something for you.
I think it would help people where it's more the action and not the nicotine.
Yeah.
Because
fair.
there are people that are super like
They
nicotine
need
reliant.
yeah.
For me personally, that's not what it was. It was more that like the force of habit. I think it'd be harder if you had like crazy nicotine addiction. But for me, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I just
And yeah, again, this is the longest that I've not vaped for since I had Juliet.
which is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So thank you, Fume. If you want a better product placement, you gotta actually become an official sponsor.
And give us free stuff.
Well, we have the fumes, so we just need the accessories and the pouches.
And more flavor. Not white cran though.
No, yeah, maybe I think they gotta go into the like if they had a coffee flavor. I think that'd be good. Like, can you imagine you smoking and you're like,
I think that'd be
"Ooh, is
probably
that
quite
an
good.
espresso?"
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a Java.
Java or something?
Yeah.
Or yeah. So okay, back to the show. Hey guys, we're back. Thanks to our unofficial sponsor, Fume. Getting rid of bad habits, one fume at a time.
That was so corny. Yeah, okay, let's talk about this then. New Year's resolutions. Obviously, we brought up the fume, so that's one for both of us. And I hate the idea of New Year's resolutions as well, just because if you make these things, I feel like there's so much pressure around them, and then inevitably you just like crack from all the pressure.
I've thought about this. I if you'd asked me 2 days ago, I would have agreed with you. But no, I don't agree with that now. Okay, I don't like the idea of you wait. Like, for example, we were like, we'll wait till New Year's to do it, and then your friends were here, so we like postponed it a bit.
Yeah.
I don't like that because I feel like the point is you're supposed to like get on and break a habit and do something new. So it shouldn't be about a certain day. You should like start
Yes,
breaking it.
yeah.
But it's hard to break habits, and so I feel like having this turnover is a nice catalyst. It's a nice catalyst for like you're like, today I'll do it today. I'm starting today. So but I do like I agree with you in a sense, but at the same time I'm like, well, like it has got me doing a whole bunch of new things. So are we gonna say our New Year's resolutions?
I mean, I have a list.
I do too.
If you want to, yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to?
I mean, if you want to, I'm not like
Okay. Because
not
I've
like
got
100% sold on it, but if you will, I guess I will.
I've got like little penalty lists as well.
Oh wow, okay.
Well, okay, and here's my pledge of honesty.
Okay.
I promise, I pledge allegiance to the podcast.
Wow, very
I
honorable.
promise to honor the podcast. No, I just said if I break any of these, I'll have to admit it to all of our like 15 listeners. So
Joach is very, very.
Judge will call me out on it if I
Well, I
break
guess
them,
you know what? That's
so.
unfair. Your friends listen now.
Yeah, they do. They listen. They're super behind though.
Oof.
So you know, even if they do catch me and hold me accountable, it won't be for like a solid 6 months or so.
Okay. Fair. So are we gonna tell? Do we? Okay, fine. I guess
mean,
we don't have to, but fine.
But fine, I'll do it. I labeled my note with all of my things on my phone. New Year Neve. New Year's Neve.
Okay.
Like New Year's Eve, but it's New Year's Neve.
Yeah, maybe.
It's like Eve, but with an N at the beginning.
Oh, see, for some reason I thought you were saying something way different.
Okay, so do you want to know mine? I got task v penalty,
Okay.
but only for the first 3, and then I have another 3 that don't have a penalty because I just haven't thought of one. Okay, ready?
Mm-hmm.
So no ordering takeout.
Wow. Okay. That's a crazy one. That's awesome, but that's a hard ass one.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But my penalty for that is I have to put $50 away, like into a savings account or something.
That's tough because you've already spent like $60 to get a taco.
Exactly. So is it really worth the penalty?
It's a $110 taco.
Yeah. Is it really worth the penalty? That was my motivation behind it, having that penalty, right? And then the second one, even if like I don't want to cook, for example, there's nothing against like me driving to a restaurant and picking up some food. I'm not against that.
You just don't want to do like skip and pay like $20
yeah,
extra.
exactly.
Okay.
And then the next one is no fast food. So no drive-throughs, no like instant gratification food. You know, if I want food, I have to go to the restaurant, order it with them, and wait there for 20 minutes to go pick it up.
Is KFC fast food?
Yes.
What about Poke Bowl?
No.
What about Chipotle?
Yes.
Chipotle?
Yes. It's a fast food chain.
Yeah, but it's like it's got rice in it. Okay, what about
It's a fast food chain.
What about McDonald's? Obviously, yeah. Like, but Wendy's, no.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. Penalty for this is $50 too. So is that Baconator really worth it?
No, I don't get the Baconator. I got the spicy chicken. Okay, the spicy chicken's fine though.
No.
What?
Yeah.
What if you?
No fast food, no drive-throughs, no quick fixes. I think that's for me is like cutting out that instant gratification.
What if you get fried chicken from a restaurant?
If you're, I mean, I think it kind of depends.
Because like, if is the problem that you're getting fried chicken, or is it because it's fast?
No, I think the problem is how much it's processed to get cooked that fast. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was the kind of thought behind it.
I mean, I don't think you're wrong in saying that. I'm just wondering because like
that's
the
what
hardest
I like.
one. The hardest thing I think about fast food is it's not even. I actually don't really like the taste of fast food that much.
Yeah,
it's just so convenient. Like the big one that I found. So I've become addicted to those goddamn McDonald's hamburgers. Just the very basic one. They're like $2. It's just when you're really hungry, like for example, I'm like, okay, you know what? I gotta get home. I've just finished at the gym after a long day of work. I gotta get home. I gotta walk Nuo, and then I gotta do this with Juliet. Like, there's all this stuff to do.
Yeah.
It's just so easy to go spend $4 to get two quick. Like, and I'm
That's
not
so
just saying
true.
hamburgers, but it is a good one. It's just a hard ass one.
I do it like if I'm super hungry when I finish work, I pick Juliet up. The McDonald's is right opposite. I might get just like a medium fries. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I get that. It's the fries for me at McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean, the difference, it's the same difference. It's not a big meal. It's just a quick little.
Yeah, something to like, but there's
so should we order McDonald's?
No.
I'll drive
because
us.
there's
I've been
so
drinking.
much...
I'll drive.
there's just
Kidding.
like JK.
Don't arrest me.
But there is, and I think that's the problem. It's like it's the convenience is the problem. So that's why I put no fast food, is because that's just, I don't need that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally
go home.
agree.
I can go home and eat a banana. Like,
well, I know.
Yeah.
I've been trying to eat bananas and it's been great.
yeah, I've been snacking so much on, to be fair, a lot of stuff, because when the English left, they gave us everything they bought, which was way too much.
I just want to point out, Lewis, now that you're gone, it's been a week
cheese
and the
is
cheese
still
is
not
still
finished.
not finished. And we've been eating it.
Yeah.
I
literally made I made a grilled cheese for Juliet today.
I love Lewis, but I just want you to know, Lewis, I don't know what world you're living in where you ever buy, even if it's a good deal.
That
I don't know
amount of
why
cheese
you buy
for
that much
$8,
cheese. Yeah. Even if it was $5, I just wouldn't see that amount of cheese and be like, oh, we better get that now.
Yeah, to last us the whole week that we're here.
Like, I go away on vacation and I'm not looking for that much cheese. It was like a tube sausage, it was, picture, you just, for the viewers, picture when you go to the grocery store and you see like the fat deli meat, like pastrami, like the biggest fat tube one, but it was marble cheese, which is the white and yellow cheddar mix. And I'm like,
it's a good cheese.
There's nothing
but
wrong with it. It was just
who needs
so
that
much. Like,
they got a massive pepperoni as well. So they got a huge pepperoni and a huge slab of cheese, and it just looked to me like, you know, those the gas station stick and cheese you got just looked like that, but for a giant.
It was. It absolutely was.
And I'm like, if that doesn't explain, because they got it in America as well. I'm like, if that doesn't explain America, then I don't know what does.
I didn't realize it was from America.
Yeah, because they went to the store in America before they crossed the border.
More sense because I don't think that's a legal size cheese to sell. Like, I think there is a maximum on the side.
There must be a maximum on cheeses.
Unless it's a wheel of Parmesan, I don't think you're allowed to sell cheese in that large a quantity.
No, I don't think so. I don't think you should be allowed to.
Yeah, that's
especially not cheese that contains that crazy? Orange shit in
that's
it.
That's an American medium.
That's what they have for breakfast.
Yeah, on that note, I gotta say, I think the best Hawaiian food I've had was in Portland.
Really?
Yeah.
I really want to make you coca momo. Momo coco? What's it called? Coca momo?
Loco moco.
Loco.
Or is it moco loco? It's one of the two.
Loco moco.
Yeah.
I've been mixing up my words so much recently.
Yeah, I noticed.
Who was it? What did I say the other day instead of Cody Rhodes?
Rhodey Codes? I don't know.
I called him Corey Rhodes,
Corey Rhodes
so long, and I just kept saying it. I'm like, something's not right about this.
I was just staring at you, and I was like, she'll get there. She'll get there.
So stupid. Anyway, I bought all the stuff to make you Loco Coco Moco.
Except eggs.
Well, I had eggs, but then I taught you how to make a French omelet, and you ate all the eggs.
Well, I'm glad you segued into that, because I was just about to bring up. Neve taught me how to make a French omelet, and I actually like eggs now.
Did you not like eggs before?
No.
Really?
Okay.
I would always make you eggs.
No, I don't not, like, I eat eggs, but I actually, whenever, so, like, let's say you would make, like, what's it called?
Breakfast hash?
Sunny side up egg.
Right.
Where my ideal way to eat a sunny side up egg would, you'd have the top of it runny, but so not the white, just the entire yolk, because you know there's runny where the yolk.
Yeah, 100%.
So just the yolk, and you'd give me 2 pieces of toast or maybe even one, butter them up. You cut into little 3 pieces, and then you dip
Dippy
it in.
soldiers? That's eggs and dippy
Dippy
soldiers.
soldiers. I just called it dipping egg, but I've never really called dippy soldiers. So dippy soldiers.
Okay, so this is actually really funny because this is like a quintessential English thing, is to have normally, I mean, you could do them sunny side up, but in reality we do boiled eggs, soft boiled eggs, and you put your egg in the egg cup, and then you slice them up thinner than the 3 pieces, and you call that egg with dippy soldiers.
Okay, so
because they look like soldiers.
I've had that soft boiled one where it's but I've never heard it called the dippy soldier, and I'm gonna call it that.
It's really
so
funny.
why do they march through the yolks?
No,
and
I
they
don't.
get all
I don't know. I
mucky
don't know
and then
why
you
they
eat
call them that. It's a very English thing, and I
Well,
went through a little phase.
The English have been through many wars.
Yeah, so I
it makes
imagine that's
sense.
what it was.
I'd imagine the soldiers, before they went to brutalize other people in war, they're like, I want a dippy soldier.
No, it's I don't know why it is, but it's really funny because I went through a phase a good 3 years ago of loving re-loving eggs. Also, I'm egg trained, so just say I know how to make good eggs.
Does that mean you slept with an egg?
No.
Okay.
It means I used to work at this restaurant when I was 18, and they did this course on eggs for the chefs, and I was training for management, so for some reason they put me on this course, and I was
can you
like,
manage people? You're like, yes. They're like, prove it
by
making
making eggs. That's how I learned to make the omelets I make.
I mean,
I'm pretty good at eggs.
No, your
to be fair.
you are. Your omelets are amazing.
Yeah.
I would highly recommend if you get a chance to have one of Neve's omelets, because they actually are so good.
Thank you. Egg trained.
And you definitely are. I've seen you make eggs so many different ways so well. It's one thing to make it, but you've made really well all of them.
I think I've done all of them for you.
No,
pretty
because
much.
there's 100.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean, if you're talking about that, but most techniques.
You've done.
Yeah.
There's technique. Do you want to describe the French omelet? Because I'm addicted to it.
Okay, so the French omelet. Do you know, I didn't know about this until pretty recently. I think it's when I was on mat leave, and I was binge watching MasterChef or something. And one of the challenges on Canadian MasterChef was make a French omelet. And they were like, it's super simple, but to get it perfect, it's so hard to do.
I have noticed that. I've done them really good. Not really good, but I've done where you're okay, it's there, but every time there's been something I fucked up where it's not perfect or a true French
it does. It takes practice to that's I think that's why I showed you, is because I was this is something that's so simple. If you want some good eggs, but also there's a technique to it.
So okay, sorry I interrupted you. So go back. So
all you do is and this is my favorite way, a little cooking tip here that I love, is
tips
when
with Neve.
Neve. I like to, for a little 2 or 3 egg omelet, to beat my eggs, instead of putting them in a fucking huge bowl and whisking them, I chuck them in a mug and I whisk them with a fork, and I swear down, you get as good a results as if you whisk them in a big ass bowl.
Who taught you that, or you just did that?
I feel like someone taught me it, but I can't remember who.
Because I don't know, I couldn't say we'd have to sit there and compare bowl to cup, but I've done it now 3 times in the cup, and I felt like I'm not saying I've whipped the most eggs in the world, but I've whipped eggs, and I felt like the ones I did in the cup were really, really good and easy too.
Yeah. Do you know what? I don't have any recollection of who taught me that. But
I'm just gonna give it to your mom.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it was something I picked up along the way there. And yeah, it's just way easier, and it doesn't take as much space up in the dishwasher, so love that.
So what is a French omelet to the
That's also
listeners?
okay, my mom did teach me this, is how to cut herbs, is you chuck all the herb leaves in a mug and you put them with scissors.
All the time, yeah. So explain that. I'm not
Okay.
I've been interrupting, my apologies, but
That's okay.
what's I always do that. I don't mean to. It just happens.
You just have stuff to say and questions.
Blah, 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 blah. Explain what a French omelet is.
Okay, so French omelet is literally just eggs and butter. That's all it is. So you get maybe like a tablespoon to 2 tablespoons of butter. Like, it's a lot of butter, so it's not completely healthy. But yeah, so 1 or 2 tablespoons of butter, melt them in a pan, but you don't want to turn the heat up too high, because if you turn the heat up too high, then the eggs will stick to the bottom of the pan. You want it like a medium to low medium, because you want the eggs to cook slowly.
I've been going medium, so okay, that's good to know.
Yeah, maybe just a little under medium even, because you want the eggs to cook slowly, and as they're cooking, you're still whisking them in the pan with the fork. But don't put the fork like flat down on the pan, because you don't want to scratch the pan. Don't scratch my pans.
I feel like that was a shot at me.
just because I know you're making them now, don't scratch my pans.
You will.
And then yeah, you just like carry on whipping them, and as the bottom heats up, you whip that into like the main body of the egg, and it's combining with the butter at the same time. And then as it's kind of forming more in the middle, you just leave it until the bottom bit is kind of fully solidified but not overcooked, and you want the middle to still be runny when you start rolling it over.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, is to get the roll and have it runny still, I feel.
Yeah, it's a practice thing. If you take too long trying to roll it, then it's gonna cook, because eggs cook super quickly. That's why it's on such a low heat.
Once you do the final flip, so it's burritoed.
Yeah.
So just so everyone knows, it looks like a burrito by the time it's done, but the inside's like, you cut it open, there's like this sweet runniness to it.
Yeah.
So is it like you flip it over burrito, take it out, or once it's burrito, do you let it sit for a second?
What I do is, once I've got it fully burritoed, because like the first flip you should squish everything up, because it's still runny in the middle. Okay. Like, that's how runny you want it to be when you're doing that stuff.
So when you do the first flip, are we like flipping? We're not flipping it in half. We're doing like a quarter flip, right?
Yeah, you're
like
slowly rolling it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and before you do that, make sure you do this, because I still forget to do this, is just before you're about to flip it, just give it a sprinkle with salt.
Yes. The first one I made, I whipped it, put in the cup, put salt in, put it in the thing, put salt in, flipped it, put more salt.
Too much.
Way too salt.
Too much salt. Way too much salt.
I don't get it. Gordon Ramsay literally he'll be like, here we have 1 egg, and he puts 3 handfuls of salt in it. Yeah, he does, but it's good somehow.
No. So you need to season your food a lot more when you're cooking stuff and taking it through so many processes. With French omelets, that's literally just butter and egg, which are both very rich, which are both very like decadent flavors. So you don't need to like be fucking salting it every 2 minutes. You're just literally cooking butter and eggs in a pan. Salt it once. That's all you need.
Are you able to make that egg that it's like a pouch, and when you cut it open, it melts out? Have you know what it's
the Asian scrambled
Japanese
eggs?
One, yeah.
I've never tried it.
I seriously think we should watch that dude. I think his name's Josh Weissman. It's not.
It's
Nick
very
Duke,
similar to a French omelet.
But Josh Weissman,
yeah,
he's that long haired glasses guy that's the chef. And he does 100. It's 99 or 100 ways to cook an egg.
Yeah,
and some of them, I think it'd be fun to do those, because some of them are like basic, like the French omelet, where it's just like those. But some of them are like far out there, and it'd just be fun to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be down to do that. If you gotta buy me eggs and you gotta eat them all.
Yeah, good deal. And what I'll do is I'll set out 10. Like I'll I'll watch it and I'll put 10 up, and then we just do 10, and then the next 10, but I just feel like if you pull up a list of 100 and go do them, it's less likely. Whereas if we segment it off, we'll get a momentum and just start doing them, because it would be fun to be like, yeah, we've eaten like I wouldn't want a hard-boiled egg. I think hard-boiled eggs are disgusting.
I was eating hard-boiled eggs last night.
If you gave me a hard-boiled egg, I'd walk outside and punt it down the driveway.
Why? What's wrong with hard-boiled eggs?
What's right about them?
I don't know. I feel like they're actually pretty tasty.
You're eating dead chicken. Babies.
That's literally any egg.
No. That one is different than the rest. It's the only one that's fucked up.
And it's not chicken babies, it's chicken periods.
Would you eat... Let's move on. Would you eat those eggs that are like 100 years old and they're black?
No.
You know, it's a delicacy, right?
Yeah, no.
I could never ever. I don't even think I could get in the same room as one of those. Like, gag.
There's no fucking way. I don't like it. Like, I can't eat my eggs if they're more runny than just the yolk.
I can swallow eggs raw.
I don't know why you'd ever want to do that.
To get
Do you want to talk about when we were at Joe Forte's?
What happened to Joe Forte's?
I choked on a mussel. Not a mussel, an oyster.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I think that's probably one of the most unclassy things I've ever done.
Yeah, it was probably.
Dude, it was
That's
huge.
saying a lot from you.
It was huge. I just couldn't swallow it.
Okay, well, I don't know. All I'm saying is BC or Pacific oysters are like these tiny little dimes that are good. Like, I'll admit, I actually like oysters now.
I love oysters,
Like,
and that's the thing.
I've eaten them for ages and not liked them. That was the first time I had them, and I was like, all right. But I still think, like, I more eat them because everyone at the table's eating them. If you ever asked, let's say it was my birthday, and everyone was like, we're at Joe Forte's, and everyone's like, we're just getting what Derek wants.
Yeah.
We're not getting oysters at all. At all. Like, maybe we'll get deep fried ones for sure. Or if we want to throw them at poor people outside, but we're not eating them.
I hate deep fried oysters. What? I hate deep fried oysters. I prefer them raw.
I'd argue otherwise after Joe Forte. But yeah, like the West Coast ones are always small little dimes. The East Coast one that you choked on literally was like a mouthful and a half of oil. I couldn't believe it went down my throat.
Do you know what's fucking hilarious though? Is that I forgot what I was gonna say.
Was it that Lewis just had no problem doing it?
No. Oh, it's that this is what it was. That's the second time I've ever choked in my life. And the first time was on octopus at Gabe's apartment. And my problem is I try so hard to get it down, even though I know it's not happening. And it's the same thing that happened with the octopus, is because Brianna asked me a question when we were at Gabe's, and I wanted to be polite and answer, so I was like trying to like choke down this octopus, and I just kept swallowing, even though I knew it was not happening. And then I'm like, oh, like I can't breathe.
I've never ever seen octopus tentacles like the way Gabe did them. Like, it was good. It's just those were fat fucking hunks of octopus.
I mean, I've had octopus like that before. I really enjoy it.
Like, I thought it tasted good.
Yeah.
I've never seen it like that before. I think the best, actually, octopus we've had in a while was us and your parents were out somewhere and we got it. I think it was the Italian place. And the way they did it was like flayed.
Oh, was
that
so
fucking good.
Uno Sempre?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should go there again. The food was so good there.
I actually thought the place we went on the Italian place on 3rd was
really
good.
That was really nice.
The focaccia, or what was it called?
I think I prefer Une Sempre. That's where I tried to get, but they didn't answer the phone.
But that one's like the top quality.
Yeah, and it's expenny too.
I think we should move on to buy and sell of the week, as well as your favorite.
Favorite what?
Person of the week.
I don't want to do that anymore. I think New Year, New Neve.
No, because we're trying to promote the pod. That's part of doing a podcast, is promoting it.
Derek, I don't know anyone else. I've done all the people I know. Oh, actually, okay, I have a person. Never mind. Continue.
Perfect. Good. Ideally, to be honest with you, they're not your best friends. They're people that wouldn't know, so they have to listen to it.
Yeah, but I don't like other people. that aren't my friends.
Wait. I'm trying to find right now the people from the last one. I'm not entertaining your lack of like. Just so everyone knows, Neve likes people. She just likes to put on this hard, cold exterior. I think it's called English, but I don't know. I think it's just Neve.
No, it's hard to say nice things about people because in England our love language is insulting each other.
Okay, so your person of the week was Hunter.
Last week?
Yeah, well,
oh, last time we did the pod.
And
yeah, okay.
I didn't have one.
Right. You didn't have one?
And it says just the number 40, so I can't remember it. I know.
Well, that's not fair. If you don't have to have a person of the week, I don't have to have a person of the week.
No, mine was the number 40. I just can't remember what it was for. I had a person of the week. I did, because mine I want to say was the Tampa Bay Lightning or something. I can't remember. I did have one. You have to go back and listen.
Your person sucked.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Or do you want me to go first?
You can go first.
No, you go first. You have someone.
Okay. Do you not have anyone? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I have someone. I just want you to go first.
So my person of the week is Neve. Not me.
How do you spell that?
Naimh.
Yeah, man.
So, something that's really actually quite funny is that me and my best friend Neve are two people called Neve. And honestly, I think it's the only reason we're friends is because we both have the same name.
Well, started. Not now.
No, I kind of guess we got past that. But we just thought it was really funny because who has the name Neve? And then to find two people in the same small town in Somerset who just happen to be each other's, like, best friend soulmates.
That's the crazy part.
That's the crazy part, yeah. And we think it's so hilarious to the point where we will, like, switch clothes on New Year's Eve because we think people can't tell us apart because we have the same name. And that's our kind of humor.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were Neve. I thought you were the other Neve.
I thought you just chosen to stay here.
I thought Neve went home to see her parents for a bit. I thought that explained why you weren't sleeping in the bed with me. Oh damn!
Oh shit!
Damn, duo.
But yeah, she asked me to be her international comms maid of honor. She's getting married, by the way. Congrats!
Well,
I guess.
weren't you her maid of honor? But you're too far away, so there's like
yeah, that's what the international comms is. But I'm just holding on to the international comms maid of honor.
You like that title?
Yeah.
Okay.
It has to have maid of honor in there.
Who's the maid of honor that's not international comms?
I don't know.
Is it you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is it
I think there's going to be a home base and an international comms base.
The way I understood it though, I think you're the best lady. But,
the best lady.
But because you're not there, there'll be another person you talk to.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool,
like
cool.
I feel like it's a dual responsibility because Neve didn't want me to take on a lot of the weight, but I'm gonna take on a lot of the weight anyway.
Okay.
Because I'm like, that's also my best friend. So.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like Neve. She's alright.
She's alright.
Alright.
But. Yeah, so
what's your favorite?
That happened.
What's your favorite thing about Neve, like that she does?
Oh, she has the same name as me. That's like top.
That can't be your favorite thing about her. That's so narcissistic.
Dude, no, it's no. But you know, this is something that's really funny. So at the naming ceremony, obviously we had to say nice things about the people that we chose to be godparents, and both of them, and I knew this was going to happen, and this is why I don't say nice things to them, is because they both come up to me, like, afterwards, and they're, like, bullying me, being like, you said nice things about us.
Sounds
Are you
very
gay?
English. Yeah, it sounds very English.
Which is super English. This is why you don't, like, this is why this is so uncomfortable for me to say nice things.
Well, you're in Canada,
anyway,
so you have to do Canadian things.
Well,
every
here,
Canadian has a podcast.
Canada. I love Neve, and
Aww.
I'm super glad that she's in mine and my child's life. And
Don't sound too sarcastic.
this is I think it's actually a problem. You know, when Randy in South Park can't like not be sarcastic.
Yeah.
I think I have that problem.
Yeah.
I do it at work all the time,
Yeah,
and
I do
it's
too.
really bad.
I do too. It's
Anyway,
not a problem, it's just
love
who
you.
are.
Can't wait to celebrate your whole marriage with you. Glad you're here to be the godmother to our daughter. Love you.
Cool.
Bye.
All right, I guess we'll end the podcast with that.
Okay, now who's your person of the week?
I'm not gonna do one. I don't feel like it.
Are you joking me?
No,
Are
I
you
got
kidding?
a person,
Okay.
and it's their week. 1 sec here.
Okay, well, fucking say her.
I think this one's long overdue. He goes by the name of Connor Murray.
Connor Murray.
Connor Murray. Connor has been... I guess we've been friends since grade 10. But Connor's been like one of my closest friends for quite a long time now. Mm-hmm. Me and Connor, literally, I think one of the least known things about me probably that people don't know is how like outdoor wilderness I am. Mm-hmm. Like I've spent a lot of time in the wilderness. I can do all the camping stuff and make fires and shelters and like be days gone in the woods and all that stuff. Like I love that stuff. Mm-hmm. And Connor has 100% been my main amigo for all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Jamie was there, and like Jamie did stuff with us on the big hikes, but it was really me and Connor did all the wilderness stuff. Mm-hmm. Like we'd always love like what was it, logistics, like of planning everything, getting your pack ready, watching news. Me and him went and made a base in the middle of nowhere in the forest. It was like a 2.5 or 3 hour hike just into nowhere. Then we're like, let's set up a camp here. So me and Connor, like we've always connected over just the wilderness. He's just a good dude. He's just a good dude. I mean, I don't think I know anyone that doesn't love Connor. Like he's low key, but as soon as you start talking to him, you can just tell he's a good dude. He loves his hockey, loves sports. And I'm just excited because we've been busy, both of us doing life, obviously.
Yeah.
But we're gonna watch the hockey game on Saturday and go grab a beer. And so,
nice. Yeah,
I'm just excited, Connor. I love you. You're an awesome dude, and I don't see you as much as I used to, but it's life. I love you. I know you love me, and I just hope you have a good week, and can't wait to have some beers, watch some hockey.
Love you, Connor.
Love you, Con Dog.
Corn dog?
Corn Dog. That's Nuo. Yeah, and yeah, I just think I'm gonna go back to Connor for a sec. I just think Connor is genuinely. I think Connor would be a great dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Connor has all the abilities and traits of a great dad.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we'll move on to. I put Neve in here as Niemi 2 because she's Neve 2. Is that okay by you?
Me?
Yeah, it's Nieme 2. Neve 2. Or do you prefer she's Neve 1 and you're Neve 2?
Well, we're not the same because our names aren't spelled the same.
Yes, that's what I'm saying is like she's Neve 2.
Neve 2?
Don't worry about
it.
Okay. Okay. My buy of last week, last pod was being back at work. Yours was Christmas time decorations.
The buy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And do you want sells or do you want to go off your buy of the week first?
Let's do buys first.
Yeah, okay. So
what's yours? You go first this time.
My buy of the week. Of course it's another work one. I swear I'm not in love with my work all the time. It just happens to be these two bonds. So I've been trying to pick up a 6th shift at work. To make more money, obviously, but it's been a struggle with finding an open room so that I can get that shift consistently. And just due to circumstance that I'm not going to obviously say out loud on the pod, you know what it is, but it's opened up to me that I now can work on that Monday, and that's just my shift. So I'm going to say my buy of the week is getting the shift at work I wanted.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good buy.
Yeah.
My buy of the week is my coworker came back this week from getting married, and he was gone for like 2.5, 3 weeks, and I don't know what I'm doing without him. So
Who is that?
I'm super glad he's back. Kanan. Yeah, he went and got married over the holidays. Came back with some bling bling on his finger.
Some blang.
It was actually a really nice ring, and not just on his finger. He got so apparently in Turkey, the tradition of the mother-in-law is you buy the son-in-law a watch. He came back with this really nice watch, and I was like, oh,
damn, I wish I was Turkish. Kanan, congratulations, and he's Turkish?
Yeah.
And I'd love to come to Turkey with you so you can show us around. I know we've only met for a brief moment, but I'd love to go to Turkey with a Turkish person. Okay, our cells of the week. Me was also, ironically, being back at work. I think the reason that it was my buy of the week was because we were poor, so I needed money. And I think that my cell was I hate being back at work. And yours was missing work Christmas party. Oh yeah, we landed the same night. That was so lame, yeah. Yeah, that's our only chance at a Yeti cooler, and we've missed it 2 years in a row now.
No, just one.
1 year in a row.
1 year.
Yeah.
Just 1 year.
Well, until we have a Yeti cooler, it's a missed chance. My cell of the week this week. Oh yeah, I got a cell of the week. My cell of the week is people that just spend way too much time watching CNN and just getting like super turned up. I'm telling you right now, if you're just sitting there watching news all day, the world's gonna blow up tomorrow. Get off the news. And anyhow, my cell of the week is people that just are in the infinite news cycle like it's their life and just stressing out about it.
Yeah, that's a totally fair cell of the week. My cell of the week is my friend's going home.
Yes, so you do admit you have friends.
I have people that I like.
Well, you apparently love Neve.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's not a direct quote. That's AI falsifying my voice.
Is it fake? We don't know.
I guess we'll never know.
Was this?
I guess we'll never know.
Okay, now this is the leaving words of the podcast.